even though people say Bitcoin is finite, but number of Bitcoins is not. So if you want to create Bitcoin number 2 or number 500, you can still do this. So is Bitcoin going to be the one that's surviving? When you make a bet on cryptocurrencies, the first bet you have to make, which one? Cryptocurrencies, they try to compete with gold. In fact, I would argue that it's the kind of the new generation, the millennials, embrace it because they're not into fancy, shiny things. Right? And if I gave you $1 million in gold, it was weighing like 45, 50 pounds. So you would have to make sure to work out. Okay, with cryptocurrency, I can give you $1 billion on a stick, right? So it kind of makes sense on the surface. The problem is, from a money perspective, where it gets difficult is that even though people say Bitcoin is finite, but number of Bitcoins is not. So if you want to create Bitcoin number 2 or number 500, you can still do this. So is Bitcoin going to be the one that's surviving? So when you make a bet on cryptocurrencies, the first bet you have to make, which one? And so let's say you solve that, and let's say that's Bitcoin. Okay. Then another question is, will the governments allow that to happen? And this is where it gets very tricky. Our democracy basically depends on our politicians making promises that they won't keep. And that means we have inflation. And that means that is, I guess you can argue that inflation is at the core of social stability. Okay? If you take that away from a government, then that's a very important carrot the governments don't want to lose. So I think we saw in Israel and South Korea, the governments outlawed Bitcoin. And there might have been other reasons for that as well. But the point is, cryptocurrencies take away government's ability to print money or to make promises they won't keep. And I think that's an enormous headwind that lies against cryptocurrencies.
The uncorruptible factor is what the central banks want to campaign against because they want to maintain control of the money supply.
And then also, since it fluctuates so much, how do you, I think, with Brexit, there was a Brexit in the news and you see pound going up or down, but it goes up like 30 basis points. So exactly. And cryptocurrency goes up
30%.
Yeah, exactly. So as a money perspective, how much you and I agreed on the price as of when?
How much can we tolerate? How much risk can we tolerate in the price?
There are a lot of factors. And then the core, we have to believe in the story. For that to become a currency, everybody has to buy into the story. If you live in Banana Republic in Africa, then I get it. I completely get it. It's a better alternative than
whatever currency they use.
Whatever currency they have. In the developed countries, the way I would look at it is that I would put as much money into it as you would spend in Las Vegas when you go gambling. That's
my exact analogy that I've used before. I call it, I have blackjack money invested in the cryptocurrency markets.
So that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, makes sense.
Where gold, I could see that to be a position, and this is a very important point to make. So the gold bugs, people who really believe in gold, some of them put 40, 50% of portfolio into gold. I would not do this. I would look at it as a position. I don't know, from 1 to 3%, maybe, I don't know. It's as a position in the portfolio. But it should not be the portfolio.
Not an overweight.
And 50% is not even overweight. I don't even know how to describe that.
I know what you're saying.
But crypto should be in basis points. And this is like
smaller allocation.
It's a gambling. It's as a professional investor, I would not touch it. But if you are watching this and you're like, well, it's solid. If you're looking for excitement and you don't have money and you don't want to go to Vegas, own some crypto.
It's true. It used to be silver, now it's cryptocurrency, right?
Yes.
That's exactly right. Oh, that's great.